Welcome to HDiiTV. You're now rocking with your boy. I had to hit the opera on you niggas. Oh man, how everything changes. Everybody was bragging about Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday after he beat the sorry ass Raiders, right? And what's funny is the Raiders have a chance to get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? After what? Now they basically after the Raiders, after Jacoby Myers just had a brain fart, I believe, and just threw the ball basically after basically throwing the ball away. Threw the ball to Chandler Jones. I guess he saw Mac Jones, but it was funny because I think Ramondre Stevenson, I believe, basically, he just threw the ball back, and I guess Myers got messed up, like Trey said. But I just looked at it like, dog, you got to be aware of that situation. So Jacoby Myers messed that whole thing up. He should have just kept the ball and went down. So you know how it goes. So it is what it is. Now, basically, Jeff Saturday and them, or Jeff Saturday basically is making Nick Foles the starter. It was reported by Adam Schefter. He's going to be the starter Monday, I believe, against the Chargers. Let me make sure. I think that's the team. Um, let's see. Sorry, I had a report come up. Just give me 1 second. Just making sure that they play Monday. Oh, goodness. This is what happens when you work peak season. You don't have no energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. It's Monday's game against the Chargers. So basically, you just ended up benching Matt Ryan again. So Matt Ryan got to be the scapegoat. The reason that y'all lost the game is because of your inexperience. Okay? Your inexperience. You didn't coach or anything. You didn't even try to coach like any other level. I believe he did high school, but he didn't put no time in. And a lot of coaches were rubbed the wrong way by it, especially Bill Cowher. Everybody was killing Bill Cowher like, yeah, he won the game. What now, Bill? He won the game. Now what, Bill? Dude, that was one goddamn game. I mean, if he would have made the playoffs, then he could have shut Bill Cowher and me and others up. But I knew he wasn't going to make the playoffs because you guys basically were his downfall. He doesn't know how to adjust. He doesn't know what's going on out there. He looks lost. He don't know what's up. So basically, he's going to be the scapegoat, take the fall. Irsay's going to go in another direction and bring somebody in with experience. Now, if he hires this guy to be the full-time coach at the end of the season, then Irsay is a dumbass. A big dumbass. The coach in Miami, the logic-looking mother sucker, I call him Logic because that's what he is, or multiracial guy. he basically has experience. He was the offensive coordinator, I believe, for the Niners. And I think he has some other experiences. So he's experienced, you know. Now, there's been coaches before that were players and then they became head coaches. You had Steve Nash, who had no experience coaching, but yet he even admitted himself that it's because of his skin tone that he was put in that position. Sean Marks and them had to make him clean that up. They had to try to submerge that story when he said it. And he said this out his mouth, so don't think I'm just making stuff up. It's no race bait or anything. That's what happened. That's what he said, and he was correct. It's because of his privilege. And Jeff Saturday is just Steve Nash. That's all he is. Jeff Saturday was the center of the Colts. He was basically the guy who helped Peyton Manning with the calls and reading the front sevens, because Peyton Manning's not good at reading front sevens. Jeff Saturday was the coach of that. He's the one who pointed everybody in where the blitz was coming, who to pick up, who to do this and that. He basically was the general of the line. Peyton Manning was the guy, basically. He was the quarterback, the general of the offense. Okay? So, hiring Jeff Saturday, him and Irsay are drinking buddies or homeboys, or even if they don't drink, they're homeboys, okay? And basically, if Peyton Manning and Irsay didn't fall out because of how Irsay just pushed him out the back door, Peyton Manning most likely would have probably been the coach. Seriously, if they had a better relationship. But Peyton Manning don't mess with the Colts organization. He basically is cool with the Broncos because John Elway showed him nothing but love and brought him in. They treat him like family. And he won a Super Bowl there, so he's forever loved in Denver. And Denver loves him way more than Indianapolis. Well, Indianapolis fans love him. Irsay's the one that has a problem because Irsay's dumbass got rid of him too soon. Like I told people what they should have done was trade that first pick and basically reload the line and the other positions, the offensive line and other positions, and the Colts would have went back to the Super Bowl 2 more times. They probably could have won once. But Jim Irsay trying to be the Mr. Know-It-All, right? Right? Okay, now. Nick Foles starting. Is it going to help the offense? Maybe. What Nick Foles are you going to get? Are you going to get the Philadelphia Nick Foles, or are you going to get the Nick Foles when he played with the LA Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars? A guy who was a shell of himself and couldn't make the throws like he did in Philly and then end up getting hurt. He got hurt with the Rams and got hurt with them, but since he's coming in late in the season, doesn't have to play that many games, he'll be successful as long as you run the ball and you put him in position to be successful. If you put him in position to be successful, Nick Foles can manage the game. I believe he's a better game manager than Matt Ryan. At this point, not career-wise. Career-wise, Matt Ryan's way better. But just saying, Nick Foles got that Super Bowl and everybody in Philly trying to say he's the greatest QB of all time. I almost slapped the hell out of a Philly fan. I'm like, dude, he was never better than McNabb. Stop it. And he's not better than Hurts. So let's look at the big picture. Jeff Saturday is in over his head. I told you he's lost. You guys prematurely jumped off the rails because he won against the Raiders. The Raiders sucked at that point. Okay, they sucked. I know it's hard for you to believe, but they were bad. Now, other coaches who stepped in, like Steve Nash, didn't know what he was doing. That's why the Nets lost, because Steve Nash only knows offense. He's not a defensive guy. And usually when a guy doesn't, and then plus Steve Nash was more of a product of a system. You understand me? When Jason Kidd was brought in, even though I thought that was a bad idea, when he became the coach of the Nets, I didn't like that because you just got done playing. You have no experience. But Jason Kidd led his team to 2 championships. I mean, 2 teams that were not that good. They were a team full of role players. And he was the only superstar. And he got them to 2 championships. So that's why I always hold Jason Kidd at a high regard. He's in my top 5 of greatest point guards ever. I don't care what anybody say. But he got the 2 championships. You understand? As the floor general, as the leader de facto. So when he became the coach, he wasn't experienced, but he knows how to coach because he's a floor general. And he knows how to run a half-court offense better than what's his name? I can't think of his name. Better than Steve Nash. But when he became the coach of Brooklyn, did he do well? No, because he wasn't experienced. He should not have gotten hired for that job. Now, I think another guy somebody brought up in the chat was Bill Russell. Bill Russell won, I think, like 8 chips before that? 10 or 11 before that? No, 8. I think he won 9 chips before that. Bill Russell was the general on the floor. He actually helped design the defenses that helped them beat Wilt Chamberlain and guys like that and Jerry West to win. Seriously. So when he became the player coach for the team, he still had talent around. So it was easier for him to coach. He was already coaching at that point. Red Auerbach really was just chilling. Red Auerbach was to me a GM. And he was a hell of a coach as far as picking talent, but Red Auerbach just had a bunch of talented players. Bill Russell was the coach. He was really coaching the team the whole time. So that was a whole different story from Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday never coached the goddamn Indianapolis Colts. The person coaching on the field was Peyton Manning. So that was a bad assessment. And Jason Kidd was a coach on the floor. Jeff Saturday never coached or ran the team. Now Steve Nash has on the floor, he was a coach, but Mike D'Antoni was really the coach. He the one who was coaching. Steve Nash was just running what he was being told. That was it. He wasn't really the guy running the team. He didn't take over the team like a Tony Parker or a Jay Kidd did when they were playing, or Chauncey Billups. I think Chauncey Billups was better than Steve Nash. I've always put him over Steve Nash in any category. So Nash was never that type of guy. Plus, Nash doesn't teach defense. He's all offense. Jeff Saturday's never been responsible for an offense or men. He hasn't. So for him to be the coach was a dumb idea. It was. And Bill Cowher was basically basing off experience. Listen, if you're going to pick the white guy, pick the one who has experience, who actually knows how to do the job. Don't pick your brother, your cousin, or your son and put him in position to learn from the people around him, and then you think, okay, now he can run the company. No, he can't. He's not you. He don't know what he's doing. You understand? That's why he has to gain experience. That's why I say, like, if that's why I said about this guy, because basically the boss's son was put in, the boss's son was put in position, but he had to learn basically from my god brother's dad. He had to learn from him how to do everything so then he could run everything. And to me, I always said, well, why not just start him at ground level? Like, start him out as a worker, let him work, his years, and then move him up gradually after he gains experience, actually experiencing doing the job, not watching somebody do it and try to teach him, and then he thinks he could take over. No, that's not how you do it. You have to gain experience from actually tackling it yourself. Yeah, you could be taught all these things. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. But at the end of the day, you have to learn by being hands-on. I'm more of a hands-on learner. I'm not no learner who gonna sit there and read all this stuff. This is how I'm more of a hands-on. If I see how you do it, I got it after that. I know how to get the job done. I know what to do. But see, they've made everything in the test format and things like that. In like this Wonderlic test, they put that out there for the players because they're trying to test your knowledge. Look, that ain't got shit to do with when bullets are flying and you're on the field. When you're on the field under pressure, how do you handle it under pressure? And see, that's the thing that's messed up. They did all these laws and put all this stuff in place to keep certain people out, or to keep so it's not oversaturated with workers. That's why they put certain things out there to stop you from getting ahead, or basically trying to do the job. You know, it's facts. So, but Matt Ryan being benched, it wasn't all Matt Ryan's fault. The fault was Jeff Saturday doesn't know what he's doing. They've lost these last 3-4 games, I believe. 2 or 3 games, I believe they've lost, is because of Jeff Saturday's ineptitude to coach the game or manage the game, or situational ball. It's not just situational football with him. It's the whole game. It's how to manage it. He doesn't know how to keep it at a certain level, or keep it even keel, keep it going at a momentum. And then when the momentum stops and it shifts mid-game or during a certain part of the game, he doesn't know how to get his team out of that situation. So that's why the Colts have lost. Like I said, Irsay needs to get him a real coach. Now, if he brings him back and he makes him the full-time coach, you've got to bring in guys who know situational football. It's like with Steve Nash when they had Jock Vaughn and Ime Udoka there. It helped him. It covered up his ineptitude and his idiocy at the position. Same with Saturday. You got to put a great staff around him, like who knows how to run the game or do the game or coach the game or see the game for what it is, and they can help him better. If you don't have that, he's not going to make it. So, but Nick Foles starting, you got to keep him between 20-25 attempts. 30 is pushing it, but I would not make him throw it 35 to 40, maybe 45 times. You will definitely lose. He's a game manager. So let him manage the game. And all I got to do is say this to Colts fans: I told you so. So thank you for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you love what you hear, you can go to my description box, hit that link to my Cashapp where you could donate whatever your heart's desire. You guys can also super chat when we're having a live or a premiere video. And if you guys don't make the video, you watch it later, you guys can super thanks after you watch the video. So thank you guys, man, for your love and blessings, man. We are out. Deezy.